Hello guys, Life Hackster here. Today, I'll be giving you an update on my Blink XT camera, which has been 1 year and 6 months since I first bought it. I did a 6-month and 1-year long-term review and I will link it in the description down below. I'm glad to tell you guys that the original lithium batteries that the camera came with is still working and the battery on the app still says okay. Just to be fair, this camera is mostly in standby mode, and the last couple of months it has just been hanging out here in my studio and barely have been triggered. I also haven't filled up my allotted storage yet. I'm now confident that it will reach the 2-year battery life that Blink has been claiming. But to all other people that has an average to more than usual traffic where they installed their cameras, I have a couple of options for you. First, Blink released an update, which is still in beta, and I'm not sure if all of their customers have been updated yet. They now have activity zones, which users can select only the areas that the camera will get triggered to record and send out a notification. This will help reduce false notifications and will prolong battery life. And it is a good thing that Blink has this free feature, and didn't nickel and dime their customers like what Arlo has done. Arlo now has this feature on their battery-powered cameras, but they are charging at least $3 per camera per month. Way to go, Arlo! Let me explain a bit on how this is done. Well, as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. As you all know, battery-powered cameras use PIR, passive infrared motion detection, which detects infrared heat. They use this sensor because it doesn't need a lot of power to use, and also more accurate in motion detecting as compared to algorithm type of detection, which needs the camera to be on all the time. Any change in the pixels like trees swaying in the wind, shadows in daytime, and light at night will trigger the motion detection, especially if there's no AI or artificial intelligence software involved. So with Blink, when you set your zones and when the PIR motion sensor is triggered, it will do a check first if the motion was triggered inside the zone that was set. If it is not and it was in the grayed out area, then the camera will not record and will not send out a notification. But if the motion happened inside the customized zone, then it will trigger the recording and will send out a notification after that. We can do a quick demo test of it using my indoor Blink camera. What we will do is to pick the right side of the camera's view as the active zone, and on the left side is the inactive and grayed out zone. Let's save this. Now I set up a mirror so that you can see the blue status light of the camera, which usually turns on when the PIR sensor senses motion and when it records. When it senses my hand, you will see the status light turns on for a bit then turn off. The PIR sensor was triggered, but it did a check on the zone and determined that my hand movement is outside of the active zone, so it didn't record. But when I show my hand on the right side of the camera, the blue light came on and now it triggered the recording because the movement was inside the active zone. So it works, but there is a limitation on this though. PIR sensor only senses motion up to around 20 to 25 feet in front of the sensor. So if the movement is beyond that, then it will still not record even if the movement is in the specified active zone. So just keep that in mind. The second news about extending Blink's battery life is hooking it up with a solar panel. Now, probably a lot of you that have the Blink cameras realize that there is not really a solar power option for the Blink. Blink only recommends non-rechargeable lithium batteries to power up their cameras. They do have the micro USB port at the back if you want to plug it in with a USB adapter. But the circuitry is that when it is plugged in, it will cancel the battery connection, which is actually a good thing, so that the camera will not be powered by both battery and USB power. Other battery-powered security cameras like the Arlos or the Ring battery spotlights, when these cameras are plugged in, it will power it up but also charge the batteries. So Blink doesn't really have an option for solar-powered charging before, just because it doesn't have the circuitry to support it, until now. This solar panel has its own battery, and will actually act like a power bank, and this is the one that will power up the Blink camera. You can actually remove the batteries from the Blink if you want, or you can leave it and it will just be on standby to power the camera whenever the battery of the solar panel runs out of juice. So let's check out the solar panel. At the time of making this video, there are two companies selling this at Amazon, which I think are the same companies. Miriam Trading is what is printed in the box. This is only named Weatherproof Charging Solar Panel, and it doesn't say that it is designed for Blink. It uses one 18650 rechargeable lithium-ion battery with a capacity of 5000 mAh and with an output current of 1 ampere and output voltage of 3.7 volts. It is also IP65 weather resistant rating. Let's open up the box. We have the mounting screws, and we have the panel itself. The 8-foot USB cable is permanently attached to the solar panel. At the back, you will see the area where the battery is, and it has an on and off switch. The battery cover is secured with 5 screws. I'm interested in what the battery and the circuitry looks like, so we are going to open up the battery compartment. The battery is a popular 18650 lithium-ion, and it has a slot for another one, but it doesn't have any terminals. Now, the output of this battery is 3.7 volts and enough to power up the Blink. It is said that it is weatherproof, but there are no rubber seals or gasket in the battery compartment, so this can be an issue later on. Now, time to install this outside. I will not be able to install this on the spot where I usually test out the outdoor cameras, just because there's not a lot of sunshine in the area and this solar panel doesn't have the quarter 20 thread like the other panels from Arlo or Argus. So I cannot use the Wasserstein gutter mount for this, like how I set up the Arlo's panel. But here is a quick size comparison between this solar panel and the Arlo's. I'll be installing this on that area of my back porch, and you can see that the morning sun shines on that post. To screw in the panel, you will need to remove the panel arm from the mount. Screw the mount in using 3 screws and reattach the solar panel arm. Make sure that you don't drop the nut at the other end of the screw. Now, time to install the Blink camera. I removed the batteries from the Blink for now to do a thorough test. You can use Blink's own standard mount, but the micro USB plug from the panel doesn't have any weatherproofing. So if you plug this in at the back of the Blink, there will be an exposed area at the back. I highly recommend getting a mount bracket that has some type of cover at the back. I have this one that I have used before. It is okay, but the mount itself is plastic and the steel ball joint rusts, which I think most of the mounts do. It also has small screws to secure the case itself. Instead of the plastic mount that it comes with, I will use a metal mount that I have laying around. I think this one is from Wasserstein. There are other mounts and cases that are now being sold at Amazon, which I will link some in the description down below. This is the finished setup, and as you can see, I tied the extra wires and tucked it out of the way. This is more or less a clean install. Time to test the camera and also test out the new Activity Zones feature. We will check out if the solar panel's battery has enough power to power up the camera, which probably has just started charging when I installed it. We will open up Live View, and it works. To set up the activity zones, first you need to take a snapshot of the current view of the camera. Then go to the settings and go to the activity zones, which is in beta right now. So the camera's view is divided into 25 areas, where you can select which area or areas will be active or inactive zones. Grayed out areas means inactive. Click Done to save your selections. So, I'll be walking around in the area where we set as inactive zones. Please note though that Blink will not give you notification until it is done recording. The recording length is the time you set in the app, however long it will record when it senses motion. I usually set mine to 10 seconds. I'll stay here for at least 15 to 20 seconds and see if the camera will record. As you can see, it didn't record or notify me. Now, I will walk through the area we set as an active zone and wait for 10 to 15 seconds. There you have it. The camera got triggered and started recording, and also notified me after that. Yup, the activity zones work. But remember, it will only be around 20 to 25 feet from the camera, which is around the maximum distance the PIR sensor can detect.
Okay, so we're gonna go up front right here, and this is gonna be around 30 feet. I'm 30 feet from the camera, so I'm on the active zone. Still not detecting me. In my testing, it's usually 20 to 25 feet. No. Okay, let's go to... This is about 25 feet. There you go. Got detected.
I'll be doing more testing on motion detection distance comparison of security cameras in my future videos. For now, the activity zones work, and thanks Blink for doing this update. Arlo has this feature too, but you needed to be subscribed and pay for their Arlo Smart plans. Ring has stated also that it will do an update on their battery-powered cameras to have this feature next year. So I'll definitely be checking and testing this feature in my future videos. Also guys, as to the solar panel charger, don't waste your time testing this with the Arlo Pro 2. I did and it doesn't work. The charge battery icon will be on, but the camera's battery will get discharged quickly. It will be also the same thing if you want to try this out with plugged-in type security Wi-Fi cameras like the Wiscam or the Yi. It will be able to turn it on, but the battery will be drained quickly because these cameras are designed to be using power even when they are in standby mode. Well, that's it guys, and thanks for watching. And I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done it yet, so that you will get notified if I upload update videos like this video, product reviews, comparison videos, and long-term reviews. Thank you.